For some people, getting up and putting on a smile to look like you're not going through what you're going through is the work. The Bible says faith without work is dead. It will never tell you, read the scripture and tell me if I'm wrong. It will never tell you what the work is.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Dads on Purpose, the podcast. I'm your host, Josh Ashford, man. And as always, got the big homie KB, Mr. Kevin Brigance. What's up, bro?
What's up, baby? Yes, sir.
Yo, I just, if this is your first episode, welcome to the show. If this is not, you already know what the deal is. But yeah, again, if this is your first time, I'm gonna just let you know this is probably gonna be a long episode. Let's just get it out the way. It's gonna be a long episode because I don't know a name for this one, but it might be called the Block Party because we got Melanated Daddy. Josh, what's going on, man?
What's going on, my brothers? I'm not even gonna try to match the energy that Kev just threw at everybody real quick. What's going on, my family?
Bro, if you caught last week's episode with the homie Brandon Carter, he tried to match Kev. He's like, I'm not gonna be the same as y'all, but he's like, thank you for having me. I don't know, bro. Yo,
he tried it.
We also got the homie KP Tatum. What's going on, man?
Man, what's happening? Man, I'm just honored to be here. You know what I'm saying?
This is KP's second show. KP was on episode 3. I believe so. Okay, it's been a minute. That was a dope conversation, man. That was a good one. That one was about men and emotions. We're supposed to run that one back here coming up shortly.
Was it on Men and Emotions?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the name of the episode.
Hey, we can run that back right now, but we talking about it.
Oh,
I'm just putting it out there.
I mean, yeah.
KP,
look,
what's been going on, man? It's been a minute, KP. What you been up to, bro?
Bro, growing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many kids I had.
The waistline,
but we up to 4 now.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So it's gangsta over here. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gangsta. It's Christmas time. Hey, I need the Lord to come through. I need the Lord to provide like he said he would. You see what I'm saying?
Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You know how he did the little fish sandwich, the little fish fry? You know what I'm saying? How he did the little wine? And I need some of that, Lord. Come on.
These jokers here.
You see these nickels.
What they got you on, KP? What they got you on?
Man, hey, Daddy, we got some Chucky Charms in there. Daddy, we got some Chucky Charms.
Chucky Charms.
What's that? Chucky Charms, you know.
Bro, we getting old. Yo, I'm not trying to change the subject, but listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this is how old I am, and y'all pray for me because listen. So, 2 nights ago I dislocated my shoulder, and before y'all start thinking anything like that, I'm stopping you because I didn't told the story before. He was like, "What was you doing?" I was literally sleeping. They're like, "Oh, that's what you're calling it?" No, I was literally sleep.
Stop. Let's play right now.
Bro, no,
your story don't make sense from the
at the beginning. It already just went down here.
Ain't no way you was asleep. What was you doing in your sleep,
bro? So I dislocated my shoulder 7 times already.
Ooh.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, and so I was laying down on my stomach, and I sleep with, you know what I'm saying, I hold the pillow, whatever. And I did something, and I felt it, and my wife said I sounded like a wounded dog. And I don't know what that sounded like, but all I say, bro, we getting old. Well, I'm getting old. I don't know about you.
You getting old. I ain't getting old.
I'm getting young, bro.
It might be some structural damage. You might need to get checked out, dog.
I did. No, I just got x-rays today, and he said there was a little bit of damage, but it's probably from one of the previous times. I got a couple little workouts that I'm doing that he told me to do.
But what about the ligaments? Did they test the ligaments and everything?
You got to get an MRI for that.
Yeah, I got to get an MRI. I know there's no cartilage in there. I've known that for years. But it's all about PT. So I've never actually gotten a PT plan. But now I do. So we're gonna work on that because somebody was telling me to do like stem cell or something like that, and I was like, I don't.
See, that's that money.
But I just don't want to pay for
that. That is ridiculous, though. So
Yeah, so we'll do some PT for a couple months, see how it's coming out, and then
you don't get that with Obamacare. We don't get that kind of treatment. That sounds like some top tier private insurance right there.
I was at my chiropractor and I paid cash for.
That's that dad on podcast money. That's what that is.
Hey,
dad on podcast.
I'll send you my invoice. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's Kev. You can't tell Kev about the podcast money. He don't know nothing. We ain't got a dime. Look, we ain't got a dime yet.
You've been holding that.
Been holding that.
Melanated Daddy, Dad Doula, or Royal Priesthood, y'all trying to sponsor?
I mean,
I don't know what it gets you, but I just want the money.
We're trying to get a soundboard, y'all.
so Kevin and I can stop going.
The manager over here just said for the right number, we might be able to sponsor a little something. That's what the the manager said that. That ain't me.
Throw out a number. I got a number.
I just called. She do the rest.
Hey fellas, it's been a very interesting year. Just everything that's been going on. Us starting the podcast, connecting with KP, connecting with Melanated Daddy. It's December, coming to the end of the year, man. Like, really, like, what's been up? Like, it's been a whole year. What you guys been up to? How things been going? What are you merging into or merging out of? Like, how things going with you guys?
Hey, Big Kev, you go first, brother, because I can talk for years. So go ahead.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real brief. I just want to thank the Lord for making it, man, because it's been so much uncertainty, if you will. Man, I mean, you leadership, what the coronavirus does do, what it don't do. If you got to get the juicy juice or not, you need it or you don't need it. You need a mask, you don't need a mask. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of. Anyways, long story short, man, I'm just thankful that the Lord kept my family. Through the whole thing, man. As far as I know, none of us have had the virus.
We hit 3%.
And I mean, bro, I just so anyway, that's it, man. I'm just thankful to be here.
That's dope. That's dope. How things been going on the ministry side for you, bro?
Ministry, man. Yeah, been low key with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not officially a minister.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I do preach the word. So, but anyway, man, it's really been slow motion, honestly. Because I've been in a stage of I've been in a cocoon, if you will.
Nah, that's what's
just
up.
trying to sharpen my knowledge of who my God is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that what the Lord showed me is that it's a lot of people that don't have a relationship with Him.
Yeah,
it's a lot of people that say they do, but they don't understand what the gospel is. So Lord willing, 2022, I may break out of that, bro, and start engaging with some folks and having some more dialogue. You know what I mean?
I feel attacked.
I hear you.
Get out here and make some disciples.
Listen,
yes, sir.
I feel attacked because he talking about people that say that. What you talking about?
I was looking directly at you, Josh. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Listen, you know what? I love the Lord, but look, I'm probably the least saved on here because he said it's slow motion. I start thinking about Juvenile. Like,
he went back to 98,
right?
I can't help it.
Yeah.
This is how he made me. This
how he made you.
We need to add him to that discipleship class, KP. So as soon as that's your first one. Hey, bro, how about
to the email blast? But go ahead. I'm sorry,
bro. Like, how about the clothing? Has that been able to catch on, or are you still?
Man, honestly, it's been the same. So my partner, he's really been like going strong with it, and I haven't been able to contribute as much because of my family obligations. But bro, I would say it's a very similar process when the Lord has kind of been having him in a cocoon process, and kind of just getting the process down, understanding what vendors gonna work better for you, bro. But I can honestly say, like, it's some heat we got some heat that we're getting ready to drop, and I think that it's gonna bless a lot of folks. I think it's gonna bless a lot of folks, bro, because it's a lot of youngsters out here that's into fashion, but they also love the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it's very unconventional, but if I pull up on somebody and they rocking some Jesus gear, you know, that's a catalyst for conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so, bro, we really are pushing to get some stuff dropped early 2022, and I think y'all gonna like it. That's on top of a whole lot more.
That's what's up, man.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. Man, I like the idea of what you said, the cocoon season. I think every man, every individual goes through that season. And sometimes I think when we end that season, it's like, dang, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or man, the things that I've worked for is not coming to fruition, and I think sometimes God just need to put you in the background, put you in the dark so you can grow and develop. So when the season is properly ready and set up for you, you're ready to get out there and start swinging. But I think a lot of people may have hit a cocoon season where there was really a development stage for them, where they should have been really in the dark, doing some development, in the dark doing some processing, in the dark doing some crying, in the dark doing some strength building, in the, you know, it's just a lot of things that happen in the dark that we don't know. Man, actually, they just did an interview with what's my guy, Kurt Warner. Warner, he has a movie. Out. The movie is out, and I kind of knew a little bit about Kurt Warner, you know, and his process, but like just the movie explaining, like pretty much the dude was in the dark. He was shoving food. He was a grocery store clerk, you know, playing arena football, and they were talking about how he didn't have the money to put gas in the car. He was nickel and dominant, but he was still always preparing himself for that moment. And as soon as they picked him up with the Chargers, that his first year, playoffs, championship. So that dude just came.
That's fine.
Rams, my bad. But you know, but out of nowhere, for most people, it's like out of nowhere. But for him, there was a lot of work in the dark that had to be done, man. So,
but check this out, Kev. Though, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to pick on Josh. I'm not gonna pick on him, but this that 75 mile an hour middle school fastball. We talk about a cocoon, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So caterpillar go in there, they get in the cocoon, it's real dark, and you know what I'm saying? They come out, that world don't look exactly how they thought it was gonna look.
Ooh.
But what you thought you were coming into, what you wanted, may not be what it looks like when you come out. Josh, you got something to say on that? I think you've been working on the dad doula melanated dally for a while, and you know what I'm saying? And now I think things are starting to take off, and you know what I'm saying? You thought they was gonna look one way, and then it's
Josh, I like the way you set that up.
To give full context, first and foremost, to what Big Kev was talking about is called being sanctified. The act of sanctification is being set aside and being hidden and being sharpened at the same time. It's a one-on-one relationship with God. That's the exact definition of what you were just describing. Now back to what Josh is trying to throw a curveball. Regardless, I'm King Griffey. I'm ready. Anyway, I think for me, and after hearing you phrase that, it kind of clicked in my head what the issue is. The Bible tells us to lean not on our own understanding. Right? So a lot of times when God blesses us with something that we couldn't see for ourselves, we try to manipulate it so it looks like something that's familiar to us. When in reality, it's supposed to be foreign because we don't understand the way that God moves.
Yeah.
My job is not to control. My job is to step into. And if I step into and allow God to drive, the rest happens for itself.
Yeah,
so
man.
My businesses, including, you know, with the wife and Melanated Mama, we are stepping into a season of supreme overflow.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the way you said that.
Supreme.
Supreme.
We were already in overflow.
Yeah.
God said, okay, so you thought that was it. Nah, I got something else. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And being okay with having no control over the car in this season. Me and my wife are both in the passenger seat. The kids are in the back with the seatbelt on, and God is having his way.
Yeah.
And I have no control over it. But I wouldn't change it for the world.
Bro, hold on, KP. I think he really just
hold on.
Because he's really just touching the surface, y'all. And I asked for the whole year. Like, what brought you through? Like,
I only answered Josh's question.
But that's just so. Yeah, but I know the conversations we've had, right? And so I see what you're saying, but I know there's that that year long that got you there. So what brought you up into that point?
First and foremost is you can't step into a season of anything until you step into a relationship with the one who makes the season. It's a different level of dependency that I stepped into. God couldn't bless me with my faith that I had already had. There was another level, another depth, but with that level came another level of obedience that was required. My wife woke me up, what was this, right at the heart of the pandemic, babe, and said, baby, God just gave me a dream that we need to do more with our platform. This was when Dad Doula was just a vision. It wasn't a business yet. I didn't put nothing on. My wife said, baby, God gave me this vision of us doing more with our brands, and I think it has to do with me. Me and my wife. Okay, baby, I support you. Handle your business. I got you. Like, whatever you need, let's do it. Turn around, it was her way of telling me what God needed me to hear. Now, my business is the one that's making moves, and my wife is preparing to launch her new stuff and preparing to make her impact on the market.
Wow.
And when I tell you, God is poising us to have $120,000 to $150,000 of money brought in through our businesses and not touching the $100K we got working in our salaries for our jobs. I still work for a major hospital and signed a deal for an undisclosed amount for a bigger hospital. To teach Dad Doula through them. But I still have a 9-to-5 with this other hospital. I still have a paycheck and obligations and duties with this other hospital. But God said, look, I'm going to put you in position to rub elbows with what your next is going to look like. All I need you to do is be obedient. Right? I told the story.
Wait. You said, I'm going to put you in position to see
rub elbows with your next.
Rub elbows
with your next.
Bro.
The same people who I work with right now as a community health worker for this hospital are the same people who signed the check for Dad Doula.
Really?
The same people saw. So true story. I'm in a class right now. I can't disclose too much. I'm in a class right now, being certified as a community health worker, being able to give communities of people who look like us the benefits, the information, the connections they need to better their lives. And in doing this work, I ran into somebody who now works for me in the partnership that I just signed.
That's what's up.
Tell me this though. How did you get to that point? Because I think my biggest and it's not my issue. It's you know what I'm saying, trying to help other people figure it out for them. It's like, how do you figure out your lane? Because they always, so me, I am admittedly a jack of all trades. I can have a conversation with anybody about anything for 2 inches deep. You know what I mean? Like, I know enough to get me in the conversation and fool you. But they talk about when you need to be a master, you go a mile deep and only 2 inches wide. And so it's just like, okay, well, how do you figure out that lane? Like I've talked to some people that say, you know, what's something that you could talk about 45 minutes without any preparation. But like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you happen to that? Like, not happen to that, but how do you get to that point?
So I think for me, right, it's a 3-part thing, and I'm gonna simplify it because it's more like 7 parts, but I'm gonna only give you 3. Because Kev understand if we talk about this, we're gonna talk all night.
Well, no, but because it matter. It goes anyway because it's the same thing with KP with the royal priesthood and everything he's doing, and then me and KB with the fatherhood and you know what I mean. Like,
first things first is before you can do anything of stepping into purpose, you have to be aligned with the maker of purpose. That's the first step.
Absolutely.
The very first step is if you don't know who made your purpose, you'll never discover it.
For sure.
Yeah.
You have to have and I don't mean just know, you have to have a relationship, right? Because in a relationship comes dependency. In dependency comes revelation. So you have to be aligned properly with the maker. Once you're aligned properly with the maker, it is very simple. You just sit back and talk. Hey, God, look, this is what I want to do. This is what I see for myself. How you feel about it. The biggest proverb my grandma gave me that I take to this day is, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Tell him your plans, yep.
But in telling God your plans, he'll unravel his plans. Right? So my plan was always, God, I just want to work in Father. I want to get a check every month, twice a month for working in my purpose of fatherhood. I want to work in father. I want to work with dads. I want to sharpen dads. I want to edify dads. I want to work in fatherhood. Okay. And then God was like, well, cool, I see that, but I'm gonna have you work in fatherhood in a way you never expected it to go. Okay, cool. Because I would have never told you I'm gonna be a birth worker for fathers. That was never a plan of mine. Right. But then if you look at my trajectory of my life, and this is going to be the third step, I'll come back to it. The trajectory of my life prepared me for a background in what I'm doing. 13 years as a surgical tech. So I've done every kind of surgery from GYN, hysterectomies, robotics, eyes, ears, nose, throat, circumcisions. I've done them all, right? And that medical background did one thing. It made me very used to blood. So when I step into a birthing arena, nothing shocks me. There is no shock value. I caught my own baby when it came out my wife. I was prepared for that. So then when I go into spaces, and then I'll get back to the divinity of what God is, because God is a funny, powerful being. He is hilarious. When you put in perspective what he puts you through and why, he's hilarious. But I met my wife, and in catching baby love, my daughter, my purpose was birthed with her. Right? So I caught my daughter. I looked at my daughter. I shed those tears as I'm holding my baby. And God said, this is the feeling men are missing. Okay, God, I got you. So, but God, what does that look like? I said, God, what does that look like? God, as bold as day, because I promise you, we had music blasting, but me and my wife couldn't hear a thing. All we heard was God this whole time. It was crazy. I promise you. I said, God, what does that look like? He said, that's not for you to know. Just lead. Just follow my lead. I got you. I got you. Mind you, at this time, I just started a new job as a surgical tech. So I couldn't devote time to that doula because my wife's on bed rest. She has to heal. And I got to float these bills until she's back on her feet. So it's time to get back to the money. I got to work. I got to grind. So back to the question at hand. Number one, you got to know the maker. Okay. Yeah. Number two, you have to commune, talk, listen to the maker. Number three, don't set expectations on the maker. A lot of our faults come in the fact that we put God in a box. God has to look and move and speak and shake like this. And God's like, I have the ability to move how I want to. Your job is to just allow me the space to do it in your life.
That was going to be my next question. What does that look like, putting God in a box? Or you know what I mean?
Very easy. So I'm going to use a very known subject matter for this. What is masculinity?
Can't define
it. Did you hear the answer? Masculinity cannot be defined by all of us on a general term. It's an individual understanding of self. My masculinity shows up differently than Mr. Kev, the mentor coach. than KP. My masculinity cannot be put in a box, and when it is, it becomes toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic masculinity is the act of putting masculinity in a box to norms that don't fit every man.
That's good, bro.
Right? So when I put God in a box, I now eliminate his ability to move through every facet of me, and I put an area that he has to fit in, and God says, I'm bigger than that. So you can't put me in a box and expect me to move in your life how I want to. Because the goal is not for me to move how you want me to. My job as God is to move how I need to get you to where I see you need to be.
Yeah.
KP, bro. Where have you put God in the box, bro?
Hey, man, I don't think we got enough time for that one.
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? If y'all knew the old KP, you know what I'm saying? Way back in the day. He's probably similar to the old Josh, but whatever.
Man, we ain't got to go that far back. Just in general, I think that the question I wanted to ask earlier is how long does it take for you to relinquish that control? And I think that's the hardest thing for us, right? It's like a relationship with God is going to be something I don't like. And that's not trust. That's not faith, right? And so I guess the cocoon phase for me is just like you said, that relationship. Bro, it's a friendship, right? That's what the Bible says. It's God extending a friendship to us that we don't deserve, right? And so
that's good,
bro. It's like when the scriptures say that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. If you really break that down, it's like, bro, God, he puts you together like carefully. You know what I mean? He was in awe when he put you together, and as he created us, and we sinned against him, he loved us enough to pay for that penalty so that we could continue that relationship. You know what I mean? So when you think of it from a perspective of God, how much God loves us, it should be easy to relinquish control because we know that anything that he does is good, right? Whether I understand it, whether I agree with it, God's will is much more better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Much more better.
Much more better.
It's like, bro, like as I'm able to see that, it's a lot less. There are not too many things that can knock me off of my square now.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna go 110, but I can trust God with the results. So if it don't end up the way I want it to end up, I can trust that he's still in control. And so, man, when it comes to putting God in the box, I think it's just that it's you thinking from a very small mindset. It's you having a very limited view of what's going on. And so it's like, okay, God, I need you to move like this right now.
Well, no, but so what I was getting at was where have you put him in the box? Because I'm thinking about where I have, and I mean, we could have went around and whatever. So for me, so one of the things, so Josh, you know what I'm saying? He wanted to do, deal with fathers in a specific way. For me, I'm being convicted while we're on this podcast right now. You know, I've openly talked about how I see us being the EYL, the earn your leisures of fatherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I see us traveling and speaking to other fathers about how parenting is done in different cultures, whatever that looks like. But at the same time, it's just like, why would you limit God? Like that's what Josh wants. But if I truly want to impact fathers and expand this platform of whatever that is, of getting dads active and staying active, you know what I mean? In whatever aspect that is, like, how can I just sit there and just say, yo, God, I want you to blow up this podcast. I want you to blow up this platform. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, the kid want to be on some posters or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just curious as to how other people have limited, you know what I'm saying? Like, put God in that box. Like,
yeah. Now I'm with you, bro. And
you can think about it. We can go to KP.
Nah, for sure. I'm interested in hearing somebody else. I can't think of just one. It's no, but I think on in my mind.
I think a lot of it has to do with the toxic mindset, period, because we're talking about relationships and relationship with Jesus Christ, but it's hard for us to have a relationship with Jesus Christ because we've never had anybody have a proper relationship with us. What do you mean? Like when we talk about Jesus' friend or he's our friend, how many people in your life that you can go back to and say, man, that was a really good friend to me. That was a person who was a really good friend. It's hard for us to find examples of those type of relationships. And then when we say, hey, this is Jesus, and he's going to help you in your life, have this relationship. Well, we don't even know what a healthy relationship look like, whether we've been from broken homes, not having a father around, our, moms are out, not taking care of the family, like, giving them the proper love that they need. There's a lot of things. So I think oftentimes we have a toxic view, number one, of who Jesus, how to have a relationship with Jesus, because we have a toxic view of relationships, period. And then I think because of that, we put them in a box. But then as we grow and our vision starts to expand, I think our vision starts to expand worldly. So what are the things we can get? What poster can we be on? What event can I throw? What can I do to? And then now we're saying, now that we done built you up on that end, how do we get God to come in on that? And it's like it's different, because the relationship God wants is not of how can I put platform, more so than how can I love on you, develop you so that you can glorify me. And so I think that just the toxic mindset that we already have, and then trying to bring in a healthy relationship starts to combat itself, and then we have to work our way out. But that's why I love the cocoon idea, is because oftentimes when we're in the cocoon, when we're in the dark, we can't talk to nobody. We can't talk to nobody. When I remember when I started Odyssey Inc. and I was trying to develop this program, nobody understood what I was trying to do. They were like, why won't you go do Big Brother, Big Sister? I was like, nah, that ain't what I'm trying to do. Why won't you go do Boys and Girls Club? Because that's not what I'm trying to do. But nobody understood more of what I was trying to do than God. So there was a lot of lonely nights. There was a lot of crying times. There was a lot of, off thoughts, like, man, if this don't work, then I'm just gonna jump out the plane. You know what I mean? Like just anything in order for me to get that thing going. And I believe that us having big dreams and big plans are the things that can drive us to a better relationship, because when you can't depend on nobody else, who else can you depend on?
Absolutely. And bro, I heard something the other day. It said that I can worship God on the mountaintop, but I see him in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, bro, that's when you say put God in a box, to me, that's just like limiting God, or not having enough faith to believe that he can do something, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, for myself, how can I put it? Bro, it's just, you get into situations where you say you believe in God, right? You say you got a relationship with him, but it's like, okay, then why can't you believe that he can fix your marriage? Why can't you believe that he can mend the relationship with a father? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's things like that. Bro, when I got saved, I had the opportunity to reconcile my dad in a way that I never had before, right? Blew me away. It was a relationship I didn't know I needed. As I continued to grow, he continued to show me that he was the same person. You know what I mean? Same ways. And so it began to challenge my faith. I'm thinking like, whoa, like, okay, hold on, God. Like, you supposed to have fixed this. You know what I mean? I'm saved now. We good. And so it began to challenge my faith, because I'm thinking there's no way that God can change my dad. He's still the same person. You know what I mean? This has been how many years? But what the Lord began to show me is that, bro, his grace is so undeserving, right? He saved me and I wasn't deserving of it. Yeah. He's allowed for me to have a different perspective that I'm not deserving of. But it's like, in my faith in God, that he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Because he's moved in my life, even in the cocoon phase, when I'm starting to have doubts about certain things, he can blow my mind away and show me, like, look, you thinking too small. So it's like, now I can have faith that the reconciliation with my dad will still be there.
Yeah.
I just gotta, you know what I mean? So it's just it's a matter of your faith growing through your experience of God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God is just not a concept, or a boss.
Yeah.
This is real life. It's a relationship. And so I think for myself anyway, it's just understanding more of who God is. And we'll never fully understand who God is. And I think that's the beauty of the process. It's like you continuing to grow and your knowing of who the Most High is.
Kev, are you about to say something?
No, I think that was really good, man. One of the things that I was thinking about was that, like, even in our processes and the things that we're going through, we still are working. See, I think a lot of people may be listening to this. A lot of fathers are listening to this. A lot of young ladies and mothers are listening to this and are like, man, I'm in a cocoon stage, but they said, be still and know that I'm God. No, you need to be working. You got to work through those things. And I think that's what I really love about everybody who's on this podcast today. And one of the things I was telling Josh, he was like, man, what we go do this week? I was like, man, I'm reaching out to the dudes that have been working and grinding throughout the pandemic, because we know it takes work. It does not, God's not going to bless you sitting on the couch. God's not going to bless you just planning. God needs you to do some work and do some real work and push through those moments and push through those dark times. And so I think that's what I really love about just this conversation. It's like, man, people see us, they see the podcast every week. They see us interacting with them every week, but we also go through some hard times. We also go through some things, but as we have worked through those things, we've also seen blessings come around us and support through hope, through guests. Like, it's just been crazy how we've been able to continue to sustain on a weekly basis, but we're doing the work. And so, man, I KP, man, just you and Josh, like, I think about both of you guys, and like, regardless of the valleys, you were still working, and you were still growing and developing. And I think that's the most important thing for me right now in this conversation is, we think about the cocoon being dark and then all of a sudden comes out, but that caterpillar is transforming. It takes energy. It takes effort for it to transform and develop into a butterfly. And so when they do pushes out the cocoon, everybody can see the work that was done in the darkness. So I think that's dope.
Kev, you know what this episode is reminding me of? And I don't know if Josh or KP, I don't know if y'all watched it, but it was with Sarah Schroeder.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow we got on this analogy of gardening. Oh, I know what happened. It was springtime. And these squirrels, my office is in my front of my house. And so I can see the squirrels out in my front yard. But these little children of God, they tear up your yard.
Yeah.
And so somehow we started talking about analogies, but we just use that analogy of gardening just on and on and on. I feel like that's what we're doing with the caterpillar and the butterfly. I'm not upset. So now y'all got to go back and run up them views and listens on the Sarah Schroeder episode. It's called Awesome Sauce. Go check it out.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Now
I'm not wrapping up.
I want to touch on this real quick before we move on. But I'm very visual, so that's why I use analogies, and I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. You see what I'm saying? So I try to make it as plain as possible. Bro, when I think of a cocoon process, I think of something like you said it looks dormant, right? But it's a lot going on behind the scenes.
I need to do a church lab real quick.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, bro, that was, to be honest with you, in all transparency, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And it's like I knew I had the potential to do a whole lot more, but the Lord was putting a governor on me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I'm trying to do this, and this. But the Lord was putting that governor on. And it was so frustrating. But like my brother Josh said earlier, bro, it's knowing that God is in control. And so once I relinquished that control, I was able to grow and grow and grow. And I honestly, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm not sure if I'm even out of the wilderness yet or out of the cocoon yet. But I can see the world a whole lot clearer. So that like you said, when you come out and you see the world a little bit differently, bro, the Lord has me in a perspective where I can see things a little bit better. Yeah. And so the moves that I would have made, 2 years ago, I'm not gonna make them same moves now. So the cocoon process, the wilderness, is for your benefit.
Yeah.
Can't forget that.
That's good, man. I think a lot of dudes can relate to that, bro. Like, am I doing enough? Like, I should be doing more, right? And I seen that in my life. Like when I recently took a youth pastor position, on the inside, it was like, man, now you can ramp up the schools you was going to. Now you can ramp up the, everything that I was already doing and not having the resources to do. It was like, let's go. But then God really, in my mind, more so in my heart, was working with me. He was like, hey, this is a new spot. Chill out. Figure out what's going on. What you need to be doing here. What you need. And honestly, and I think that's the growth in the relationship that we've been talking about. Like, how do we, like the question KP had, how do we relinquish control? It's something that's done gradually over time. And when I think about that, it's a relationship, right? Bro, when we first meet, number one, KP, you in Houston, you know how we do. First of all, we go look at you up and down first, bro. We go size you up. Then when we say what up, is how you respond. And then from there, now we're giving a lot of trust and a lot of over time, right? Over time, we're giving trust and developing a relationship and developing a friendship. And I can even think about you guys, like, me and Josh just met around this time last year. You know what I mean? Starting the podcast, but over time, the trust was able to grow, develop, and we are able to get into a great podcast as Dad on Purpose podcast and connect with other people like Melanated Daddy and Big Kev. Like, it's just a wonderful thing that happens. My question is,
I know you're not gonna hijack it. I was trying to pivot and he just pivoted, but that's cool.
No, my bad.
You know what? No, go ahead. You got a question, Kev. Go ahead.
No,
I was trying to bring Josh in because we're talking about this transforming and things like that. But I wanted to know, with all the transforming, you know what I'm saying, how has that changed your parenting? I know we talked on it before, especially with Baby Love.
So, first off, before I answer that, the analogy that he just said about dormant is heavy. But I need people to understand one thing. It only looks dormant to people who don't understand who has you in a cocoon.
Wait, now say that again. Because one, I want you to say it again, and two, I didn't hear it all.
For the process of sanctification or being in that cocoon, it only looks like dormant work or dead work to those who've never been there before. To people who understand the source of what you're going through will be the same people who encourage you to keep going through it because they've once been there, right? I'll never forget when I was in Lodabar. For those who don't know biblically, that's the lowest of the low. I was in Lodabar and I was on the potter's wheel and I had just got out the army. I had just retired and the army was backlogged, so I couldn't get a retirement check for 6 months.
Wow.
So I had to wait for 6 months to get money that I had earned with my service. But bills don't stop.
Yeah.
Bro, I was about to say somebody getting robbed.
I applied for some of the most lowest of the low jobs, janitors. Not to say these are low jobs, right? I'm just saying jobs that, and all they can tell me is, brother, I would love to hire you, but I can't because you're overqualified. I heard overqualified for 4 months straight about 100 times. And when I sat back, I said, God, this doesn't make sense why I can't find a job to just pay my bills.
Right.
I'm trying to get rich. I'll wait for my retirement for all that. I just want to be able to be comfortable.
Yeah.
What I forgot in that moment was that the zeal protects the overqualified. Meaning that God couldn't allow me to get anything else because what he had for me was bigger than what I could see.
Oh, that's good.
Right? So understand, and I'm gonna get to your question. I got you, brother. But for those who are like, yo, I'm this pandemic's been kicking my butt. I'm stuck in this space. I don't know how to get out. Sometimes the fact of just asking how to get out is the work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
The Bible says faith without work is dead and never tells you what the work looks like. For some people, waking up every day is work. For some people, getting up, cooking for some people.
Why did you just say it?
Why you said it?
For some people, getting up and cooking breakfast is the work. For some people, getting up and putting on a smile to look like you don't to look like you're not going through what you're going through is the work. The Bible says faith without work is dead. It will never tell you. Read the scripture and tell me if I'm wrong. It will never tell you what the work is.
Yeah, you're right about it.
Specific and individual to the person doing the work.
Absolutely.
So when I was in Lodabar, the fact that I didn't show the garbage I felt on the inside was my work. And every day I woke up trying to find a job, God said, I see you, but it ain't gonna work. Yeah. I just need to see what you gonna do in the interim. Because I got something for you.
Yeah.
Fast forward 4 months, I got my retirement check and landed a ministry job in a mental hospital of all places. Next thing you know, I went from no money to too much money and didn't know what to do with it. Right? And in my heart, I only feel I received that because I woke up every day to do the work of just getting up.
Yeah.
And a lot of us want to just lay here like I'm done. That's not work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get up and force yourself to wash your butt and put on a smile, knowing what you going
through. Got through. Yeah, bro.
Knowing what's on your plate.
Yeah. And you said something.
The question you asked.
But before you go through to the next one though, but you said something really good, bro. The people who see and know what you're doing or know what you're going through in the cocoon, in the sanctification process. Brothers, I am talking brothers, bro. Like every male that is listening to this podcast, we have to do better at surrounding our brothers and supporting our brothers in lifting our thinking. If we don't understand what our brother is going through, like let's not just push him to the side and cancel culture, right? Like, oh man, whatever he's going through, man, I ain't with it. Or he's trying to better his life, I ain't with it. Man, you might not be trying to better your life, but the relationship that's because you know that person and you know what their vices are, right? I think I've seen a lot of good brothers fall off because the brothers around them didn't support them. You know what I mean?
But Kev, we got to take that a step higher, right? Once you've achieved a certain level, your circle has to change, right? I can't, and mind you, I got to watch how I say this. My wife is going to go crazy. I grew up hanging with hood cats my whole life. I lived in the suburbs and went to the hood to kick it and climb. I saw the face, Josh, to kick it all the time. I lived in Brown Deer, Wisconsin, which is a suburb, and drove to the hood of the hood because there was a certain level of camaraderie that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then people ask me, Josh, well, now that you're doing what you're doing, what
Pause. Before you go there, do you ever see that movie ATL?
Oh, everybody seen
ATL. Yeah. Nunu, you was Nunu.
I was. Except my mama wasn't coming to the hood to find me. She was waiting at the crib for me to come back home. She wasn't coming out there.
Go ahead.
But people ask me, okay, Josh, so now that you're doing what you're doing, what about the people back then? Two things. I'm going to give you a ladder to climb up, but you got to do the work.
Yeah.
I can't do it for you. Right? Yeah. So this thing that God gave me, he gave to me. Got it. Check. Bingo. He gave it to me to help and edify other men. Check. Bingo. Got it. But if you're not willing to grind and do the work to climb out of whatever you're sitting in, I can't be held responsible for that either. Nor can I allow you and your lack of motivation, lack of this, lack of that, to tarnish what I'm doing. A lot of people have a blessing boiling on the inside, but who you know is canceling your blessing.
When do you pull back on somebody for that? Because and here's what I'm gonna go, because I talked about this a couple other weeks. I know Kev remembers the conversation. I'm working with a young man, a young brother. He's 22. He's got a baby mama that's 20. They got an 8-month-old. They were homeless. Boom, 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 boom. Anyways, so now we're getting them housed, and he's left all his friends, everything. but I can tell that he's not ready for my help. He wants it, and here's the thing, and I don't know how far I'm gonna go into this, but whatever. I'm gonna just say it. So, long story short, in order for him to get to that next stage, his baby mama's the one that he needs to let go.
Stop. I'm gonna stop you right there. Before you extended help in any other form, the first amount of help you should have been with the mind frame. I need to change your mind, the way you think, before I can elevate you anywhere else. So, I do this work Monday through Friday at my job with parents, teaching, guiding, loving, supporting. But the one thing I tell all of them is I need you to have more skin in the game than I have. Meaning, I will give you the tools. You got to use them. So before I even look at moving you and getting you housing, brother, how bad do you want this? Man, I want this. Until you want this more than you want to breathe, we can't talk.
Yeah.
But when you get to that level, then you come see me. And then we can do some work. Because when you want to live more than you want to be in the hood, when you want to strive more than you want to do X, Y, and Z, when you want to do this more than you want to do that, that no longer matters. When you will cancel it on your own.
Yeah.
Perfect example. I wanted a wife. I also wanted to have every woman in Texas while I lived there. Gosh, what are you going to do? Easy. Y'all got to go, because what God has for me will supersede what you can give me.
Yeah.
And if I was ready for that, my wife wasn't my wife. Until I got ready to say, look here, God, these women, and true story, I was sick in Texas. I went to the hospital. They kept me in the VA hospital for 4 days. And the moment that clicked is none of these women I was talking to showed up.
Yeah.
Not a one. So I'm good for the dinners. I'm good for this. I'm good to preach to you on Sunday. I'm good to call you and talk what I want to talk to you. But when I need you to show up, you don't show up.
Show up. Yep.
But then when my wife was in the hospital, she's right here, we were dating and she had a team. She told me, date number 1, look here, you're 1 of 5. You got to earn me.
Yeah.
Say less. I think it was week 2. She was in the hospital. None of her team showed up. But who?
You.
Me. Shortly after that, her team became dismantled. It was that was mine now.
Yeah.
Right? The fact of the matter is the when the Bible tells us what God has for us is for us. Facts. But there's a condition there. God won't release what he has for us until we are ready to not mess up the blessing he has. If I have too much going on that will be detrimental to that blessing, God's not releasing it. That blessing will sit there, and then eventually God will pass me by. So I tell, and I'm gonna get back to those questions. I promise you about the parenting. I forgot, but people ask me.
I did.
Me too. Look, I done got a whole list of other stuff from just that one conversation.
People ask me all the time about prophetic, right? Josh, you can say things that, yes, God has given me the ability to speak life. Got it. Cool. Bingo. But prophetic is still conditioned on the person doing what they have to do to receive it.
Yeah.
Nothing that God ever says is for us will happen if we don't do the work to show ourselves worthy of that gift.
Yeah.
Everything comes with work. I want to be dad doula, but I just want to sit on it for 6 years. No, that ain't gonna happen. God gonna give an idea to somebody else and make somebody else a blessing out of it.
Success loves speed, man.
Right,
man. Hey,
go ahead.
KP, what's your framework on that? Like, how did you find the place to pull away from the one group to resettle in another group?
Man, I had to. It was cold turkey. You know what I'm saying? Once I got saved and like like I understood, bro, I can't hang around this group, because if I do, it's gonna drag me back somewhere else. It's not profitable. You feel me? Like I had to realize that these relationships aren't profitable. They cool. I still love them, but we on 2 different times. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm on a mission now. Yeah. Like my life is purpose now. Us going to Onyx is not benefiting my life or my purpose. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Not honest.
We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah.
But bro, I'm purposed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm purchased and purposed. And so it's like, bro, like it's very easy for me to distance myself from people, but that's not the goal. The goal is to rub shoulders with people enough for them to understand the vision more clear so that they can attach themselves to it. You know what I mean?
I like that. Mm-hmm.
And so, like, again, I think like Big Josh said earlier, bro, like you gotta understand what God is doing. And if you don't, He not just gonna release a whole lot of resources to you for you to mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, bro, I think that's kind of where I've been at. It's like the Lord put that governor on me. Like, it's like, okay, don't get too big for your britches. Understand what I'm trying to do with you.
Yeah.
And once you understand your calling and your purpose, then it's like, okay, now go out and step out to go talk to them. Okay, so, now go out and talk to them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Right, but it's a process, bro. Like, I can't even. It's a process. This don't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Hey, KP, can I come behind you real quick?
For sure.
You said you have to know what God is doing. Yeah. I'm gonna say for those who don't know, just be comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's okay to not have the answer, but you still know where you got to go.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes God is not gonna say, Josh, I need you to do this. He just puts that feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like my wife I feel in my spirit we got to do something. That was a call to action. It was either y'all gonna step out and do it or y'all not. If y'all don't, then don't expect this gift to stay here. But if you do, I'm gonna meet you where you start.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ride with you the whole way.
Yeah, that's good.
I at the beginning of the season I'm in, I kept telling everybody all I did was give God a yes. Right? Give God a yes. Simply, all I did was God said, "So I need you to quit your surgery job because I got something better for you."
Yeah,
I said, God, I need this money. This wait, you want me to stop doing surgery? That's good money. He said, "I need you to quit this job. What you finna do?" Nah, I can't do it right now, God. Okay. I got called into the office and they were cutting all the managers' pay in half and making everybody part-time. They cut everybody. I said, wait, so instead of making this money I was making, I make half of it and I don't get benefits because I'm part-time. Wait, what? This don't make sense. God says,
okay, I got to quit this job.
God says, so are you going to quit now?
Right.
Or okay, got you. So I called my wife and said, baby, look, I don't mean no harm, but God just told me I got to quit this job. And my wife blew my mind with her answer was, babe, I'm at peace with this decision because God already told me it was coming.
Dang.
Okay, got you.
And you said it, KP, it's the purpose. Once you figure out you got purpose and you got a way to go, and I think for every man, we hit that at some point in our lives where we find purpose in who we are and whose we are. I made this post the other day, and you strive towards it. It doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna be the best at it. It doesn't necessarily mean, listen, when I started Odyssey Emo, I wasn't getting $1 million donations, but I was striving in my purpose and I was offered the opportunity to develop and grow in my purpose for times like this, times like these. Like if I would have got a youth pastor position 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it wouldn't be the same fire as right now because of my purpose and striving towards that thing, striving. And I think one of the things that kind of hurt, that I kind of fight with, Josh, is yes, I'm working with you and I know I need to release you, but have I walked with you long enough to release you? So what do you mean? Like we talking about God and we talking about relationships. Well, oftentimes in order for a new believer to develop a relationship, somebody has to introduce them and walk with them, right? So for instance, the majority of the people who've been on here that's been Josh's friend, guess what? Josh had to introduce him and we walked together with them. And then by the end of the interview, that was my homeboy. You know what I mean? Like I never known KP before this, but now every time I see him on Instagram, what's up, bro? How you doing? You know, everything good, everything, you know, liking his stuff, having a relationship. But that's because Josh walked us through that relationship. And I think sometimes when we have people in our lives that God has sent to us, we have to be real careful and when do we need to release them. Maybe we don't serve them a lot. What do I mean? So, nah, bro, I can't give you $20 for a meal. I can't give you, like, you're set up, but I need to walk with you mentally, like Josh said earlier, mentally walk and make sure your mind is right. But then there has to be a point where we have to be responsible and not just be a counsel. Am I saying that right? Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Yeah, you saying that right.
Okay, cancel culture, and still be there for, because I think, I don't know about y'all, but as a dude, there's been so many dudes to walk away because we didn't click like that, or I wasn't ready for the level that they were on. Instead of saying, "Oh, I see where you at, little man." So as you grow up, either you'll come into the fold or you'll find your own fold to be a part of. And I think that's one of the things that I struggle with sometimes when I'm walking with the individual, working with the individual, is being keen on knowing that I'm not giving all myself. Like, I ain't going to lose my life behind you, but at the same time, I'm not going to just leave you out there to fend for yourself.
There's also a thing called discernment.
Yeah.
And discernment comes key when putting people under your umbrella.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, you can do more harm than good shielding somebody else from a storm that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people all the time, before you take people under your umbrella, you better ask the source if it's worth you shielding them from this storm. Perfect analogy. I had a pastor who said, "Josh, God just dealt with me." What are you talking about? God is dealing with me. That's fine, but that's not telling you anything. What are you saying? What is God dealing with? What are you talking about? Man, so this other senior minister came to me and said he needed some money, so I gave him $50. Okay, now everything hit me left and right. I said, "Did you ask God about giving this money first?" Well, no, he was in need. Sometimes he's in a place where the only need he needs is God. Not you to intervene. Because now God looking at you like, "Oh, so you want to play me?"
Yeah.
So now you got to deal with something. Certain times in this path that I've walked where people will bring partnerships. I was offered a whole preaching position, and my wife looked at me and said, "No." I said, "What? This is exactly what I want, baby. I get my own church." No. God said, "You don't need to be preaching right now."
Yeah.
Okay, baby. I turned that position down, and it was the best decision of my life. That position would have ruined everything that God is doing right now.
Right now. Amen.
So there's times where you need that to be like, I can't rock with you right now.
Yeah.
I don't love you any less. I'm not pulling me away from you, but I can't put you under my umbrella until God says so. So in this moment, call me for counsel. I will send you what I can send you from what God tells me to do, but I got to distance myself, especially like KP said, if I'm still in the cocoon, what can I give you?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I got to protect me before I protect you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to use discernment to understand this is just not that time for any of this.
And that's good.
Be okay with it.
Joshua, it seemed like your wife, she be getting words from God a lot.
For real.
And all I'm saying, and I know she's right there. Don't get mad at me. I would have been a little upset if she getting all these words from the Lord, but she didn't tell me that I needed to leave this job. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I got you, but you also understand this: free will's a thing. So I hear you, but so my wife will happily tell you in this relationship, I'm the spiritually sound one. My wife struggles, and I'm not going to speak those words. My wife is beginning to trust God more every day. That's how we're going to phrase that, okay? And as she continues to trust God, God will continue to use her gifts that He's given her. But in the beginning of this relationship, I was the one praying at 6 a.m. I was the one covering her and the family. That was my call. Even before we was married, that's me. Like, this is my family. I got to cover y'all. It took my wife to hear from God to be like, baby, I think I should be doing more. Well, tell me more. She starts putting herself in Christian women's councils and doing other things because it's what God told her to do.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, she hears from God, but at the same token, she also understands that if I haven't heard it, I can't agree with it.
Yeah.
There are certain things that people will tell me, oh, God said you're going to be this world-renowned preacher. I hear you, thanks. I don't receive that because God ain't said that.
But I think one of the beautiful things that your wife has too, as a believer too, is oftentimes many believers want to tell people what God done told them, and God ain't told them to tell people what they done told them. You know what I mean? Like,
God told me.
Right?
To tell you.
God ain't told
you
me.
Better be home at 9:30.
No. But I've even caught myself in those situations, and I had to learn as I become a pastor, because that's my calling, right? Is the pastor people and make sure that they're spiritually growth. And I found myself telling people too much because God was just downloading as we were talking, and I'm like, yeah, you should be able to do this and this and this and this, and they looking at me like, nah, bro, I ain't ask you none of that. Yeah, like I ain't gonna do none of that. And not that they weren't willing to receive. They just wasn't ready. They wasn't there. They wasn't spiritually there. They wasn't financially there. They couldn't even see the vision that God had given me for them. And so as spiritually mature believers, we have to be able to have discernment as we walk alongside our brothers, as we're walking alongside our sisters.
I'm about to piss my wife off. Y'all ready? Right now.
You got to live with her.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. This exact thing you're talking about, God has shown me her business.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, and so my wife is an artist. So everything that y'all go on my page and look at was created by her. She doing this right next to me. This is her. So my wife does this art, and that's just her. It's built in her. She can't help it. And so she was like, baby, I really want to get arts back into the school because we all know arts programs are being defunded left and right.
Yeah.
And God showed me her opening up an art institute for children. I said, baby, you ain't got to worry about, no, forget them. You going to make your own. Yeah. And she just looked at me like, baby, wait.
Yeah.
I ain't ready for that yet. and I had to understand the glimpse I saw, he hadn't downloaded in her yet. So me talking about it was absolutely no good because she wasn't ready to receive
ready for it. Yeah.
Right. She hadn't even manifested that part yet. It was like, here's the problem. I don't know where the solution is. Here I come trying to fill a gap. She ain't even asked for it yet.
Yeah.
Like, God, I'm not ready for that yet. And God had to pull me back like, look, I'm showing you she don't know this yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Perfect example. I told my wife she's going to get fired 6 months before she got fired.
I did not get fired.
I'm sorry, Tommy. Her contract
said, don't put that on her resume. She did not get fired.
Her contract was not renewed. And I spoke it 6 months in advance, like, baby, I need you to look for a job. Well, why? I can get, look at me, baby. I love you. I do. I'm here with you. You're not meant for this job. They're not bringing you back. It took the third time of me saying that for her spirit to catch it. Like, okay, let me get on Indeed.
Yeah.
And now she's in the job that she got.
Put my resumes out there.
Right? Because she wasn't ready for that. But it was that kind of message was necessary for preparation. That's different. There's many different types of messages you can give people. Some prepare them for something that's coming, and some releases something for what they need to do next. The one that releases them, they have to do the work to receive that first.
Yeah.
If I come giving you what thus said the Lord, and you ain't did the work for God to show you that's what you're doing, it falls on deaf ears.
Yes,
you don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, wait, what? So when I told my wife about this school, she's like, oh, I don't want that. Oh, okay, but got it. That don't mean it's not gonna happen. For that later. In this season, it's not for that. This season is for something totally different. Right.
But this episode wasn't even for nobody else. This was for me. Like I'm serious. Like this whole episode was for me because again, going back to you know what I'm saying, the little homie, the young man that we were talking about, I was telling him about the things he's going through, because everything that you're talking about, manifestation and God showing you the vision and things like that, he showed me for them. And I told them what God showed me. Like the day that they hit me up and they were homeless, and as I was driving home, God showed me them. He showed me the little homie opening the doors to his own place.
Yeah.
And I told him that. And I said, y'all, you don't even worry about it. Like, y'all good. I was like, he already showed me, like, this is where it's going. He didn't show me everything you're going to go through, but he showed me that. But that doesn't mean that I was supposed to tell him that.
Yeah.
And then today, literally today, I went up there and because I was helping him out. And as I left, I felt that I was just like, they're not ready for my help. I was like, we got them housed. They're in a hotel. It's the middle of the day. They're sitting there watching TV. I said, why you in my head? I'm like, why are you guys not, like, if you are so struggling to make it and you want to make it, why are you not applying for jobs all day long?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, girl had a job interview on Monday. She didn't go because the local Uber or whatever canceled her ride. And so she was like, oh, I had to reschedule. And I'm like, you didn't think about calling another Uber? And so it's just the more and more this whole episode keeps going on, the more and more I'm just like, yo, like that he showed it to me so I could see it.
Yeah.
And I told my wife today, I was like, I need to step back. I was like, I can't keep doing this because I'm sitting, like Josh said, I'm trying to play God.
Yeah. Have you ever had that moment where God's like, look, you need to tell him? And it's like, oh. So understand this. Have you ever, and I'm going to make this very plain so people listening can understand. Have you ever heard the analogy of women date men for potential?
I don't, wait, what?
Women date men for potential.
Yeah.
Men date women for what they can get right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's not always the case for men, but that's just an overall theory.
Yeah.
God showed you the potential, but you moved on potential like women move on potential in men. He just showed you what most men show women after they move in potential. He's not hungry yet.
Yeah.
So until you hit loader bar, and I mean you hit the bar,
Yeah,
the hunger don't really kick in right away, right? And I'm gonna talk about me. I can't talk about everybody else.
Yeah.
When I hit loader bar, I got instantly hungry to work any damn job I could find.
Yeah.
I didn't care what it was. God, I will go pick up gum on the street for $10 a piece for what just give me some money because this ain't it.
Yeah.
I was at loader bar. I was hungry for a way to not be here no more.
Yeah.
Because I hit the bottom. Mind you, I'm retired from the Army. But I had to hit that to understand what I know now to be true, right? So everything we go through has two outcomes. One, to sharpen us. Two, for somebody we're going to come in contact with down the line. Most of the situations I've seen in my life had nothing to do with Josh. Most of these situations are for the men that I work with every day because I can now see where you're coming from because I was there.
Yeah.
I can understand you. I can feel you. I can build community with you in this aspect because I was there. I tell my wife all the time, I can't preach about being a millionaire because I've never been a millionaire. But I don't want a millionaire preaching me about being broke because you don't know what that life is like.
Yeah.
Until you have that reality in your system, you can't talk about it. You can't breathe, but you also can't connect through it. God showed you his potential. He showed you where he is right now. You want to, hey, brother, God said, no, he ain't ready to receive that yet. Because he still got to hit the bottom again before I can really make him hungry. Because when he hits the bottom again, he's going to realize she's the reason he hit the bottom again.
Yeah.
Bro.
And when he hits the bottom again, he's going to call you and say, hey, bro, I'm ready. She got to go. And then you go, like, okay, God, I understand.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? And I'm going to leave it here. I was like, you know what's crazy when you talk about that hunger. And I saw it, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like a woman seeing them red flags on a man. I saw it and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
We were offering all. I was like, bro, you guys just need to get a job. And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna try to work over here because they paying more." So and I'm like, "You don't have no money. Like you just like low. I'm not trying to put all your business out there, but you just asked me for money to wash clothes."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and it's a lot of people out there that are enabling other people, and they're doing more harm, and that's exactly what I'm doing. KP, you look like you want to jump in here, man.
Nah, I'm listening, bro. I'm trying to think what I would do in that situation because I know how frustrating it could be. You know what I mean? To help somebody that don't want to help themselves. I think that Big Josh was on point when he said that the Lord, showed you his potential or potentially even the future. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But for me, at least, I have to understand, like you said, I'm not God. Mm-hmm. And it's nothing that I can do to change this person. That's going to have to be the work of the Spirit. You see what I'm saying? To get him in motion. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you give somebody the opportunity for change or the opportunity to grow or get out of the situation they're in, and they choose not to, it ain't nothing you can do about that. You see what I'm saying? If they know better and still don't want to do better, the Bible calls that a fool. And I'm not, calling him a fool or anything. I'm anybody. Me. If God tells me to do something and I don't do it.
Nah, bro. Nah. Don't take that away. You call him a fool. He ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. He a fool.
I guess even more so than the derogatory word. I'm saying a fool is somebody that knows better and doesn't want to do better. Right. Absolutely. And it's nothing that we can do to change that.
Yep.
And so, as you're serving this young man, it's gonna be up to you to have patience in that the garden analogy, right? To have patience with God to grow him and to the stage where he ready to grow and break ground. You see what I'm saying? But bro, I think honestly the most important thing that you can do for him right now is pray.
Yeah.
Pray for him and pray for you. That you don't lose heart. That you won't, as you serving him, lose faith in what God is doing or lose hope in him. You know what I mean? That's that box again.
Yeah.
But I just commend you for even being there that long to help somebody like that, because I know how frustrating it can be.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to add that part that we kind of, it's like you don't have to serve him how you think you should serve him. You could serve him even just by having that conversation. Like, bro, what's up? How you doing? Like, things good? Nah, I can't come out there today, but I just need to check in on you and make sure you're great. You know what I mean? I think because sometimes we neglect that, even though we can't physically get them out of their situation, like Big Josh said, the mental work, right? The mental work of, pouring into other people is normally just out of a conversation. And sometimes, like you said, like we also have to think too, he probably didn't have an example to show him. He probably didn't have the right people around him to help him think better or have that hunger, right? And like we said, it's when you hit loader bar, when you hit your bottom, boy. And I when I even think about that, y'all, Jesus had 40 days, 40 nights. Like, we think like, oh, Jesus is gonna say da, 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 da. But he himself had 40 days and 40 nights in the cocoon. You know what I mean?
Of pure temptation.
Pure temptation.
Let's paint the picture properly. He had 40 days of strippers and 40
that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you got 40 days in the strip club. They just in your face. and he ain't call wifey nothing.
And he had to sit there and pray.
Yeah, man.
He couldn't do anything else. He had to just sit there and pray. I get it. And I think Big Kev gave the biggest piece of advice for your situation right now. I need you to cover yourself.
Yeah.
And I need you to be okay with not making yourself available for this young man right now. Phone conversation is okay. Hey, Vince, I'll give you that. Hey, but you pulling resources, he's not ready yet. And when he's ready, you'll hear it.
Yeah.
It'll be a totally different tone in his conversation. Hey, Big Josh, look, like I'm ready. Like, what's up? Oh, okay. Hey, I got a job interview tomorrow. Like, what's up? Okay. It's a different level of urgency when God done finally prepared you properly for what you're going to step into. It's a different level.
It's funny. I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about a lot of my teen fathers, bro. And I got one right now. Like I could, and I know we shouldn't be like this, but I could have sworn like I was gonna get like, hey, he's gone. You know, like he didn't make it. He didn't make it out of the neighborhood. He didn't make it out of the drugs. He didn't make it out of the situation he was. But then I get on Instagram and I see and I like one of his pictures of, you know, his kid and stuff. He was like, yo, Mr. Kev, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's loosely, right? Because this is an individual who I was just like, man, I don't know if I'm meeting them. I don't even know if I'm reaching them. But like we said, just keep praying and knowing because they might not get it now. Yeah, putting them in the box. Huh? but I know that my prayers for every student that I've mentored, every teen father that I've mentored, and I know that those prayers and stuff work because I've been able to see these kids in the future and they're doing well, you know, and that's one of the things that I do think about. It's like, yeah, I probably didn't give all of them the resources that I possibly could have given them, but they figured it out at the end of the day. They figured it out because they had a kid or they hit the lowest of the lows and know that that's not a place that for them to be. I got one I need to check on right now. He was like, Mr. K, I've been in on cell block 20 for a couple of months, but even then, my prayers are still for him because even when I see his life now, he still ain't right. He still ain't right. But my prayers is that he will come out of it alive to be able to have a family with, you know, his kids and the mother of his child. So yeah, man, bro, this is good.
Yeah, and I'm about to shut it down.
I was going to say we ain't never did an hour and 25 minutes.
I'm good, but I know what's coming because if we go somewhere else, that's going to be another 30 minutes, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is, it take a lot for me to download and upload these episodes. listen, I don't know if y'all caught this because we shot last week's episode on Thursday night, and the episodes go live on Friday. Well, I got the audio portion, but the YouTube portion didn't get put up until Monday because the file was so large that it killed all the bandwidth on my laptop. So I had to do some things but I got it. But bro, these episodes be like they be big. Especially with the video part, because once I do all anyways. Yeah.
KP, I just want to salute y'all, bro. Man, for having this discourse. Like it's extremely necessary to have these uncomfortable conversations amongst our community at the very least. You know what I'm saying? Because
this wasn't even a plan. I didn't know who we was gonna talk about. But look, Yahweh.
But no, definitely KP, man. I think what God has done through us through this podcast, bro, it blows my mind because even when we start talking, we never know where it's gonna go. But like you said, man, these type of conversations are important, and we need to have these conversations. And I hope that the fathers that are on here, that's listening, the dads, the men, like really take us to heart. Like we need to be our biggest fans. We need to have these type of conversations. Like, bro, we didn't come out the mud just by grinding. Like even the toughest thug had some kind of prayer. You know what I mean? Even he might was going to the pen when he was praying, but even the toughest thug had some kind of prayer. You know what I mean? And I think that we need to talk. We need to talk deeper about it. Matter of fact, even at our church, we are looking at men involvement at our church, right? Man, we just need to start having conversations. And I'm reaching out to people. And I'm just even saying, like, it ain't even got to be about God. I just want to check in on you. And like fathers, dads, man, we have to start just checking in on one another on a real authentic level.
For sure. Big Josh, and I know you want to talk about men in emotion, so you probably just gonna have to come back for that one.
December 16th.
I thought it was the 17th. We gotta check the calendar. Yeah. You know what? It's this. I think it was the 16th, and I thought it was the 17th. And yeah, it's the 16th.
It's Thursday, the 16th.
Well, because I was just like, bro, I was like, why are we recording on a Friday night? And then I was like, I had to go back to our conversation. And anyway, whatever. So yeah, 16th, that's next Thursday. Yeah, Josh, if you want to pull up, you can pull up.
As long as I get to be in the Pretty Willy one, I'm with it. That's the one I'm going to clown the whole episode.
But what's so crazy is that, oh man, Kev and Josh, y'all ain't been on Instagram. And so there was somebody in this episode the whole time just watching.
I just saw that.
Oh, you can see that? You can see those people? Oh,
I saw it in the chat in Instagram.
Oh, yeah. That was Yeah, he was just sitting. He'd been sitting here the whole time, and I was just like, "Who is this dude?"
What's up?
And I see that. Now he's not there no more. He gone.
That's my partner. I just kind of check in real quick.
No. He was cool.
Hey, get us some feedback from him, brother, so we can know how he sounded. I'm okay with it. I like a live audience. I'm with it.
Right.
So.
Well, hey, you know what? Because we can stream this. We can stream this to Facebook. Yeah, we just have it. We can stream this to Facebook and YouTube.
I think that.
So let's do it.
No, I'm not against it. I'm just saying we haven't. Yeah, that ain't nothing.
Why?
I don't have an answer for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I don't have an answer for you.
The 16th, we should be streaming on all of them then, right?
Ooh. Oh, sure.
And it also cuts your download time down because once you stream, it saves it.
Whoop, whoop.
It didn't know that good stuff, but it saves it.
Oh.
So you don't have to physically upload anything. It saves what you did live.
I still got to edit it because I do things to the episode. But whatever. Who cares? Anyways, Josh, what you got? Because I know you're going to be long-winded. What you got to get us out of here?
I'm going to do you a solid. Like I said, baby girl has an upper respiratory infection. She is sick, y'all. So
I heard her back there.
Yeah, I am going to make this short and sweet because I got to go and do some skin-to-skin time with my baby and let her calm herself down. She's sick as a dog, y'all. Men, fellas, brothers, all the different titles for us. You are only as good as your connection to your community. So in moments like this, with a pandemic, with women raising single kids or single women raising boys who need a level of guidance, a level of something, be the visual that they can model. With that, I ain't got nothing else to say. I'll see y'all next Thursday, and I'm Pretty Willy chilling. We're gonna be in this room. Pretty Willy, baby. Pretty Willy.
KP, what you got with that? He got a little Asian Oriental music going on in the back.
Me?
Who got
that? That's Josh.
So that's the sleep music for baby.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. We zen out. You know what I'm saying?
we do the little piano music.
No, that is actually what they call the Asian flute.
Native American.
There it is, Native American flute. My bad. Wrong indigenous people. The Native American. It's a 24-hour YouTube page and just plays.
Oh, nice.
We go to it every night, and she be out within 5 minutes.
Nice.
Every night.
Noted. Hey, go take care of what you got to take care of, man.
I appreciate it. I love each and every one of y'all. KP, I just followed you, my brother. I already called the other two of y'all. I'm looking forward to doing this again for episode number 5.
For sure. Nice to meet you, big dog.
And Josh, the wife said, what's up? She went in her episode.
You know what? She's been asking. I don't know why we haven't done this.
She said, because y'all sexist. She said that.
Now she can't be on.
She's talking mess. When you ready, you let me.
I can't be sexist. I drive a minivan.
Hey, minivan gang.
Hey,
bro, I just sold my truck yesterday.
Why?
You sold it?
Yeah, I sold my truck. So because my wife took a promotion, and so she started driving a lot more. And I had a lot of equity in my truck, and I was like, we got the minivan. I'll drive the minivan. So we sold my truck, and we bought her a small SUV with all her bells and whistles, so she could drive that. So
why, Josh?
That's a bit.
Why? What? I just told you why.
Why?
It's minivan gang, baby.
I got that Armada outside, that big boy, and I can't let her go until I get a bigger one.
Man, and look, I was looking at an Armada and all that stuff, but listen, we only owe like $20,000 on the van.
Mm-hmm.
I got offers for 28, but I'm like, I'm not gonna get what I want, and it's got the DVD player in there, and I'm like,
yeah, you're not.
I'm not gonna get what I want.
You can't go wrong with that. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not gonna get what I want for what I want to pay. So, and I don't mind driving the minivan. I do need to change out the little head unit because it don't got Apple CarPlay, so I need my maps.
I'm gonna tell you now. My next truck is gonna be that new Jeep Grand Wagoner. Look it up.
Oh, bro, that's nice.
Oh yeah.
That thing is nasty.
Yeah.
I told myself after my contracts pull through that I'm doing with this hospital, I'm gonna sit on that because that's gonna be our moving, buying a house money. After that, I'm copping this thing cash. I need that thing.
If you don't just sit there and buy you like, you know what I'm saying, 1,000 shares of Apple and let that sit and just chill.
That too, but first I need my Grand Wagoneer.
You see, KP,
get out of here. KP,
you see how this started a whole new podcast? They didn't started talking about automobiles. But hey, wait, Josh, he got on. He ran away. I was gonna tell him, man, he was looking sexy, man. Looked like he dropped a couple of pounds in the face.
Oh man, KP, what you got to get us out of here, bro? Hold on, I done got close. My skin look good. KP.
Okay, that got awkward a little bit, but
the camera shifted and it zoomed in on me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay.
You just admire yourself, huh? Okay.
Sometimes.
Nah, bro. Nah, seriousness, bro. I know we talk a lot about purpose and you know all of that, but it's okay to not know your purpose. You know what I mean? But I think that it's very important that you're seeking that, because if it's one thing I know, man, I've noticed that when you wake up and you don't have anything to wake up, like you just going with the flow, you complacent in what you know. Yeah. But that's when the enemy really start working with you. You know, that's when they start. So, bro, I implore all of my men out there, bro, just to seek God's face and to understand your purpose, why he redeemed your life. You know what I mean? But secondly, man, get you a support system, bro. Yeah. Get your support system, man. Have somebody you can call and be butt naked with. Yeah. And I ain't talking about butt naked as
I know, I got
it. Call somebody, man. You can say, hey, look, bro, you know, hey man, I'm about to go over and give me, you know.
Yeah.
Get some, you know what I mean? You need man, bro, women can call their homegirls and they 6 deep and they got support. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to men, and I know we can expand on this next week, but when it comes to men, bro, we have a very hard time being vulnerable because we associate that with weakness.
Yeah.
But man, it's a lot of people suffering in silence right now, and I hate it. So, last thing, Royal Priesthood, the hoodie I got on, man. Go check us out on Instagram. I put the what you call it, the name. I don't know, man. Whatever they call it. I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? The handle. Check us out, man. We're a brand trying to glorify Christ. So if you're down with that, man, you'll definitely love what we're doing.
Gang. KB, what you got?
Man, what don't I have? Like, just this episode was fire. Listen, if you're listening to this and you've heard so much about God and you don't have no idea where to start, you just start with, you know what, God, I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I don't know how to do right. When I want to do right, I'm going to do wrong. I accept God as my Lord and Savior. He died for my sins so that I may live, like, not that I may live a perfect life. Listen, y'all, that churchy stuff, man, did that stuff, bro. They were backsliders behind closed doors. What I'm asking you to do is be authentic. Like, if you gutter, be gutter. Let God work with you in that gutter. So that you may be able to be transformed. And transformation, man, is a beautiful thing in the process, right? So your life becomes better. You as a husband become better. You as a friend become better. And so I just employ each person that's listening to this, man, male or female. Like, you're hearing so much stuff about God. Maybe God is not showing up in your life the way that you think he ought to been showing up. And we just talked about the cocoon and coming out of the cocoon and things looking different, right? Like, just know that if you trust in God and you're moving and you're doing things to better your life, to be a better husband, to be a better father, to be a better worker, to be a better wife, to be a better sister, he will eventually come in, cover you, and prepare you for the next level of life. So if anybody today, just accept that, man. Just accept that God loves you. God loves you unconditionally, regardless of where you at. And he wants you to be happy and blessed. And the only way you can do that is by accepting him into your life. That's all I got.
Facts.
I don't really know what else to say, but make sure y'all like this, share this, comment this, review this, subscribe this.
Run it up.
Run it up. Man, this was literally our longest episode, but I think it was such a needed conversation. And I'm thankful that it's not over, because I know we're gonna keep going on this next week. So y'all tune in. We might do that one live. We might do it live on a Thursday. I don't know. That might be a whole move. So we'll see what's up. We'll figure something out. But until then, y'all take care. Y'all be great. God bless. We love you. We out of here.